Excuse me. Welcome, everyone. Everyone. Recovery Concepts, Daily Recovery Snack. I'm Chris. Thank you all for joining me on this beautiful Thursday, April 2nd. Got 80 degrees in Southwest Virginia. Been working on the garden, getting things together for the year. Super excited to be able to contribute a little bit more and hang out in the garden a little bit this year. Had kind of a rough summer last year, and garden got away from my wife and myself, and we grew more weeds than we did anything else. Still got tomatoes and peppers, but we've got a big garden and we like doing it. It's kind of like I guess my hobby, therapy, cardio, workout. Checks a lot of boxes, but nothing like coming in the evening, going out, picking a few things out of the garden, making a salad, something or another, cooking some potatoes, but straight up out the garden onto the plate. It's pretty tasty stuff. We enjoy it anyway. So let's dive in. Thursday, April 2nd. Man, time does not slow down. A quote from Marlene Dietrich. It's the friends you can call up at 4 a.m. that matter. A recovery friend once said, there have been only two people in my life that I've called up at 4 a.m. My mom to get me out of jail, and my sponsor to help keep me from drinking and ending up in jail. Many of us almost remember calling up a recovery friend in the wee hours of the morning and hearing a calm, caring voice on the other end of the phone. I believe I read that first sentence. Many of us also remember calling up a recovery friend in the wee hours of the morning and hearing a calm, caring voice on the other end of the phone. Or we've had the experience of having a recovery friend call us in the middle of the night and perhaps even spending the night on our couch. We create safety for each other when we can't create it for ourselves. This is the nature of recovery. Having friends in fellowship that will be there for us whenever there is a need, wherever there is a need, is a gift and a privilege. We should honor it well. That's nice. We should honor it well. Prayer for the day. Higher power, thank you for the fellowship and for your friends who will be there for me during the best of times and especially during the worst of times. Today's action. I will take time and think about which of my recovery friends have helped me the most. I will call them and thank them for their care and kindness. Um, I had a habit for a while where when I went to work on Mondays, um, I never got into the habit as much as I wanted to, but I knew a guy that did, and it impressed me. I thought it was a great idea. Once a week, I think it was Mondays or Tuesdays, he went into work, and we worked with a lot of people. I worked for a cosmetics provider for about 30 years, but he would get a hold of somebody that he knew. A lot of times it was somebody from work. Um, but he would shoot an email or call them or do whatever, make some kind of contact and just let them know that he was thinking about them and he appreciated who they were, how they were, and that they were in his life. And I always thought it was so solid. He hit me one time, which was kind of crazy because back in the day, I mean, I wasn't a devil, but I had many, many flaws. We'll just put it that way. But I had some good qualities too that just struggled to get out. It just struggled to get out of me due to active addiction. Um, but that talks about having people you can rely upon. You know, being a reliable person. You know, in case someone may be in need. Um, I I'm a big proponent of recovery community. A buddy of mine says it all the time in meetings. I get high, we stay sober. I get drunk, we stay sober. And he just simply means that if he tries to do this thing by himself again, that he will end up ingesting recreational drugs and alcohol, and it will not turn out well. So when we find ourselves, especially in early recovery, in the situation that it talks about having a hard time or whatever, the trick of the matter is, or it would be suggested, to reach out to friends that are in the recovery community to speak on it, to try to talk to you about it, possibly even come visit you, whatever the case may be. Conversely, it speaks about when somebody calls you, if you hear it, if you're able or whatever, answer the phone. Um, Maybe you can, you know, it's tough getting a call at 3 or 4 in the morning or something or another, but maybe you can cast yourself back in time to early recovery for you when your ass was on fire, and remember somebody that helped you that was probably not the most convenient time for them to do it. Um, this thing's about other people, man. But the way that it works is it keeps me better. When I'm giving this thing away, man, I tend to keep it. It's weird. It's the way that it works. Somebody described it to me as one time as a healthy pond or a healthy stream or whatever it is has an in and an out, man. The Dead Sea has got an entrance and no out, and it is just thick. You can float on it, not even holding your breath or whatever, due to the salt. I believe it's a salt content that's in the water or whatever. It's so heavy and buoyant. It's not a healthy. There's nothing that lives in it, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong on all that, but I believe it was the Dead Sea that my buddy spoke on. But the point is, if you got something coming in and going out, it's a more fertile environment, and that would promote life in the middle of it, as opposed to only an out or only an in. You need the in and the out to create the healthy environment, and I believe recovery works like that a lot. You say some people get a hold of it and they kind of just try to hang on to it for themselves or whatever. I had such inferiority complex, man, when I first showed up. I didn't necessarily want to hang on to it. I was excited when I started feeling better or whatever. I just didn't think I had anything of value to give. I belittled myself so much for so long internally while walking around puffed up trying to make sure everybody thought I was okay, um, that I did not think that I had anything of value. It took me a while to figure out, you know, hey, this is working. This is working for me. And I found myself in a position where people would come and ask me, man, I appreciate what you said. I look up to your program. It seems like it's working, and I'm like, it was uncomfortable. I'm like, wow. It's almost like if you get into this thing, and I'm talking about 12-step recovery because that's all I know to speak on. It's all I've done. If you do the deal like the deal is set up, you cannot help but to get better. You do not have a choice but to get better. And getting better means stop drinking and drugging, of course, but I'm talking about evolving. I'm talking about progressing. I'm talking about morphing more into a person that I believe I was intended to be. Not who I made me, but who I was made to be. Flawed, problematic, a little bit of a pain in the ass every once in a while, but not some of the things that drugs and alcohol created in me. Not I've got shortcomings and I always have, man. I got character defects and I always have. But some of the tough stuff that I did that was really wrong, no, I don't think it was ever intended. Nobody ever taught me that shit. I never would have told you this is what I'm gonna do. I can't wait to go out and be, that guy. But during active addiction, man, I did things that was, just wasn't okay, and it ate me up inside. But when I work my program, I work my 12-step stuff, I do my things that I'm supposed to do. It's been working for a while. I continue to grow into this guy, this man that I think was the intention of me when I was thought of at conception. Alcohol and drugs turn me into somebody I wasn't supposed to be. Recovery turns me into a version closer to who I think my God had in mind when conception happened. I think that that's closer to who I was supposed to be, and that's the way that I view it. And I try to honor that, like it was talking about. I honor that. I try to honor the fact that I could actually help somebody. I try to honor the fact that somebody would come to me for help. Somebody would see something in my life that they would, pull away from me and my actions and watching me or talking to me or listening to me and say, hey, man, I want some of that. I try to honor that fact because, man, it wasn't that way. It just wasn't that way. And I absolutely remain humble during the journey because it can change again. I've changed it. I've done this thing way wrong more times than I ever have done it right. So I'm just trying to be, trying to keep it all in check here to remember who I'm not and the grace and gifts I've been given and try to do my best to give them away. So anyway, love to reading today. Really glad that you all joined me. Appreciate you. Please subscribe, like, share, especially tell a friend or somebody if you got somebody in recovery trying to grow this thing. But I'm glad you're here. Come on back tomorrow, Lord willing, and we'll try to make us a Friday out of it. Have a blessed day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.